So it's been a while since I didn't upload, and I thought I'd do something pretty easy. And so yeah, we're doing the tier lists. We're talking about this is not my tier list. This is actually Hambaaga's tier list from some like 6 months ago probably. The reason I chose Hambaaga's tier list is because it's one recent and two I actually agree with most of it. I think that this is the most accurate tier list, at least for like the most relevant characters in the meta right now. So the first character, we're gonna do this in order of lowest to highest. So first we're gonna talk about Yuki. I get a lot of comments about Yuki. She's one of the most asked about characters in the game, purely because she is considered just really bad. And so a lot of people are curious as to like, why is she not good? Like, why? I thought that she was like cool and like can I get away with playing her? And it's kind of weird because Yuki is really unexplored in terms of like what her goals really are, because she's just really bad. And she has to work around a lot more things than other characters do. I've already talked about her a little bit before, but we can go over it again. She has the Shoto tools, so just your average Shoto stuff. This move is not as good as it looks. It's actually really small, and this move is really slow, so it's not super practical. I mean, I've seen people try to use it like at point blank range to just try and beat parry timing or something, but usually you don't see that move used very often. Her projectiles are among the better in the game, honestly. I think that this is actually quite good overall, at least for this game standards. It's no Kojiroh, mind you, but it's something. This move is just for power, mostly. Gives her combos, gives her a super cancel that gives her more damage. Otherwise, the heavy version is just like a tech chase. That's all it's really used for. It's all you can use it for, because like you can't combo into this move at all, unfortunately. It does do a decent amount of damage, but it's like if you wanted a character that did a ton of damage on tech chase, I would just recommend Power Moriya instead. And then there's also her other moves, so she has like the Reflector, which reflects projectiles. Amano's DP is slightly worse at reflecting projectiles because it's just a slower move. Parry just kind of beats this move outright, so there's little point to using this besides actually just reflecting projectiles, but that's rarely an issue. No characters are using their projectiles that often, or nearly often enough for this to be strong. So you don't see it very often. And then her last special is just like the command grab. Although I will say, this command grab hurts. I mean, that command grab damage is really high in power. She's dealing as much damage on her command grab meterless as Juzoh, so I mean, hey, it's pretty good. And then on top of that, she also has some surprisingly good normals. I think people don't talk about her normals enough, honestly, because this is a really good normal. I don't know what I would compare it to. Probably like Light in a way. Not quite as good as that. Obviously, it doesn't anti-air for you, but it's quite strong. Super long. It is confirmable in speed like really easily. Even at max range, you can always confirm it because her 5B is really big. That's another thing. 5B is a decent normal. It's really just a long distance heavy normal that has a decent aerial hitbox. And there's also this move, which is a really good anti-air. Super good for beating out air block and chicken blocking. So does this. This also beats out chicken blocking like most other grounded DPs, but it's not as good as some others are. I would probably say like most notable is Koji and Washi. They have better DPs overall, but still decent. I just think that this is better for that specific purpose. This is mostly just a combo ender. if I'm being honest. Her 2C goes really far for a 2C, and it is comboable. You can actually get a true ender at max range, not in power, but in speed you can. In speed you get a full combo for that, basically. And then on top of that, she also has dash cancels, dash cancel Oki. She can run over opponents and stuff. So she does have mix options. It's not as strong as like Washi's, but it's still pretty solid on top of her like really high command grab damage. So if she has all these things that are like actually surprisingly good, what makes her bad? That's the main question that people have. And one of the biggest ones is the execution barrier for this character is ridiculously high. And what I mean by that is, take for instance just her normal power combo for like jabs. So you like to, the main issue with this combo is that it's a double one frame link. And then the cancel is also really tight. So her most basic jab combo in power is not easy. It's just not easy to do. And this applies to every mode she has. Every mode she has, all of their optimal combo routes are full to the brim of one frame links. So she's just really hard to play consistently. And that's only like the first part of her problems. Another major problem of Yuki is her frame data is not good. It's just not very good. She has a lot of slow moves. She has a lot of moves that have like very niche applications and don't like actually serve the purpose very well. Because like, for example, zoning is not very good in this game because you can move so far so quickly and you can just jump straight over projectiles. And then you can get like full combos off of it. So you just go like, right? So fireballs are not very useful. This DP is outclassed by many other DPs. This move is only useful in power. It does not really do anything in speed, and the heavy version is not very good. Her super is pretty mediocre, especially because she can't combo it off of someone who's in the air. So if she does like command grab, she can't combo into super. And being able to combo into super off of all of your important confirms is one of the most important things to have in this game, because supers are where most of your damage are going to come from, because supers can deal some crazy numbers. Like, she deals quite a lot on super, especially if you hit the mash correctly. So she's missing out on a lot of damage on quite a few different confirms that would be super good if she actually had them. Another thing about her that's more prominent in speed, which I'm actually going to switch to right now, is her lack of a real Fandango confirm. Now, I mean, like, not every character has Fandango confirms, and they don't need them to be good in speed, like, for sure. But it's kind of important for characters that have command grabs, because they're losing out on a lot of damage on their command grab. So, for example, A.Kaede can do his command grab and then combo it into Fandango, but Yuki, obviously, she cannot. She can hit a reset, but then that opens her up to get air parried if she does it. Well, yeah, like that. And the last thing about Yuki that makes her just like really not great is her damage output is like really low for this game. It's not Okina low, but it is pretty close to Okina low, and that is really not great because most things in this game are very high damage. Games end really fast. Generally, this game is like a 2 or 3 touch game. That is if you're hitting full confirms, which you're not always. But if you are hitting full combos, this is a 2 to 3 touch game. And she makes this game like a 3 to 4 touch game sometimes. And if you want her to be at the damage level that other characters can get to, you have to hit all these one frame links. And there are characters besides her who have to use one frame links, which I'll get to later. But most often those characters only need one frame link to do their combo. And even that, people don't like how unreliable it can be sometimes, especially when you consider stuff like stage lag. So people have a lot of problems with like doing her combos effectively and playing her optimally, but she does have good things. She has some things going for her, and I don't think she's quite as bad as people say she is. But she's still definitely the worst character in the game, probably, or at least in the low tiers, right? So maybe if someone played her really well, they could prove that she's not actually like bottom 1, but she's not getting higher than like bottom 5 probably. I don't think she would ever be able to get better than like O.Kaede, for example. So yeah, that's Yuki. I think that she's better than people might give her credit for if played optimally, but playing her optimally is insanely difficult. So, moving on back to our tier list, we got Okina. Now, Okina's interesting because he's actually... he's lacking a lot of the complexity that other characters have. And what I mean by that is that he's pretty one-note in the way that he plays the game. Okina is lacking a lot of tools that are strong in this game, and he doesn't use this game's mechanics very well. And a lot of this game's mechanics just hurt him more than they benefit him, especially switch guard. So if he goes for like a 2A like tick throw on the opponent's block, they can just switch guard and then jump, and then boom. Like, easy punish, easy punish. So he often has to take a lot of risks to get anywhere, and he's lacking many tools that are actually good in this game. Not to say that he's, like, unusable, but generally when it comes to Okina, Okina works mostly off of making the opponent either upset because he's not very fun to play against, or hitting them with a lot of knowledge checks, and then beating them with that. This makes Okina fairly underplayed and not super well liked by the community, but most people who play him just play him because he's a funny little guy, and that's fair. What are some things that he got? So he has Turtle. Turtle is not good, let's just say that. It's also an RNG mechanic. So Okina has a chance to either send out a normal turtle, a fast turtle, or a dragon turtle, like that. Each have different speeds, damage values, all that stuff. And it's all based on random chance. Funny RNG character, classic. He also has the high version. This one is actually an air unblockable. So it's really good for catching people that are... Or, is it air unblockable? I don't think it is, actually. But this is like his main actual anti-air, but only works at far distances. Because this is another thing that he has. He has teleports. I believe it's DP back with different buttons, yeah. So DP back A is the best one, because that one just brings him to the other side of the screen. It's good for setting up more turtles and stuff, and just making people chase you. It also puts you at range, I believe, for the long-range command grab, because he has the close-range command grab, the medium range, and then the long range. The medium and long range have like specific ranges that they can only be used at, which is where the turtle is. If they are on the line, but the turtle's too far like that, it won't connect. He also has the spin move, which is just not good in any case, really. It's really underwhelming, but it can OTG, if I can maybe do it here. Yeah. That includes the long one. That also allows you to do a meaty. I think that's a mid, though. A meaty mid. So it's really not that useful. His other teleports is a low teleport and then a high teleport. The high teleport is super reactable, so if he teleports in front of you, you know it's low. If he teleports in the air, if the camera angle comes up, you know it's the high, and if it doesn't move anywhere, he's coming to the other side. And I think that's it. That's really all he's got. The rest is the supers. His supers are both really not great. This move does a lot of damage, but its damage is, its range is pitiful. It goes very little distance, It doesn't have a super good anti-air hitbox, unlike the way that it would seem to probably have. It does not really. It has a very small hitbox, and it's prone to messing up. He doesn't really have any ways to properly confirm into it. His better super is the SDM, which is the Dragon Turtle. This can actually be confirmed into. Oh boy. Like that. That does actually true confirm. This is something that I actually forgot to mention about Yuki, but Yuki has an SDM that is almost impossible to confirm into and is almost always punishable, so it's just bad. Don't use it. But yeah, that's really all he's got. I mean, there's also speed, Okina, which I would personally argue is the better mode. I know that some people don't agree with me. It's kind of like a 50-50 across the community as far as I know, whether or not speed or power is better for Okina. I think that having access to just a more free cancel system allows him to go for more... It allows him to go for more wacky and interesting knowledge checks, in my opinion, and also just leaves him, like, looking cooler, at least. I don't know. There's not much reason to why I think that, like, speed is necessarily the better one. I just feel that his toolkit is stronger that way. The only difference is that he loses SDM and gets Fandango instead, which is probably a negative, but I don't know. The other two things that he loses is command grab damage and the ability to stun. Both of those are hindered by him being in speed, which, I mean, yeah, that's pretty big for him, but I mean, out of all the characters that I've seen stun, Okina is not one of the most prominent ones, so it's not that big a deal. The bigger deal is the command grab damage. That does hurt him a bit, but he gets more consistent damage off of any other type of confirm instead of just going for, you know, good old command grab every time. But it's hard to say. This character, I don't really know that much about him, and there isn't much to say about him because this game does honestly just work against his playstyle. But I mean, if you like the funny little old guy, then have at her. Alright, our next character is P. A.Kaede. I'm gonna try and speed things up here because I'm spending 10 minutes on each character, and that is a long time. So, the next one we have is Awakened Kaede. Awakened Kaede is definitely better in power. That one is not, that one's not a debate. What makes him considered not super great is mostly just inconsistencies. So, take for instance, his SDM, or at least this one, this SDM. This SDM is punishable on hit by several characters, and they can get full damage for it. So it's not great. And then there's also the fact that he does need a 1-frame link in mid-screen to get supers. That's a 1-frame link, that kick. And generally, just his frame data is not super great. I mean, this move is like Yuki's, but worse. Yuki's 5A, but it's just not as good. His DP is worse than average because he leaves the ground to do it. This means that it is error blockable, so it doesn't really beat chicken block at all. There's another character that has a DP that does the same thing, but he has 1 frame of error air block null, so he can bust through it still. But Kaede, as far as I know, does not. Stuff does sometimes just miss with him. He's got some wonky hitboxes. This hitbox in particular is super wonky, and I've talked about it before. He's lacking in a lot of like anti-air stuff. He has no usable low. Unlike the two other characters that I talked about that were lower than him, they both have actually surprisingly decent lows, but he does not have any good lows. His OTG is shockingly slow, actually. It's about as slow as Yuki's, which is kind of crazy. His projectile is probably one of the worst ones because its hitbox covers so little of the air, but he does at least have the air fireball. The air fireball has a lot of recovery on the landing, but it can be used after you tech, so it's not all bad. his range is just not super great overall. But I mean, the main thing about Kaede that makes him actually like pretty okay is probably this command grab. This command grab is quite good. It gives Kaede a ton of meter, and it can confirm into super. In both modes, he can actually do this. So in speed, he can cancel into that super. He can cancel into Fandango, and in power mode, he can cancel into SDM, which actually does less damage, I think. But yeah, his combo game is quite limited. His range isn't super good. He requires one-frame links. He has inconsistent frame data, lots of recovery on some moves. But he builds meter really fast, especially with this move. His damage on command grabs is not terrible. He also has this roll, but it's pretty useless overall. I mean, like, it does not make him invincible at all. And it doesn't even make his hitbox much shorter than normal, so it's just not very good. Yeah, I think that he lacks a lot of strengths that are normally good in this game. He doesn't have particularly good jabs. I mean, this is like okay, but again, he's outclassed by two other characters in this field. Like, so if you want to play the poke game, just play Washi, or even Yuki for that matter. Yuki has a better poke like this. And his damage output is just like okay. It's never been super great. This is a good move, or not that move. This is a good move to use in desperation. And this move is fast on startup, but it's slow in recovery. Like, this is an example of a lot of, like, that's a good damage combo, really. But you're not often hitting this. You're not often hitting like a JB on a grounded opponent with Kaede and having it be like workable in this way. He's just rough around the edges. But I mean, overall, his playstyle is just the basic Shoto stuff, but Shoto stuff does not work very well in this game, unfortunately. So he is pretty underwhelming. Alright, next character is P. Setsuna. I play this character a lot, and I think he's very fun, but he's also lacking quite a few things that are generally standard in this game. He also does not have any cancelable lows, the same way that, the same way that Kaede does in Power. His 4A does not link into anything, which is really bad. I think that's one of the worst things about him in Power. He obviously can in Speed, but his Speed mode is notoriously terrible, and that is because of the way that his heavies work. So his heavies are 2-hitters, and they are slow. In Power, the opponent, when they block this, it'll just bounce off and there won't be 2 attacks. But in Speed, there is always 2 attacks, and so they can just guard cancel you into parry, and then you blow up and die. So what strengths does he have? Well, this is a good button. This is a really good button, actually. It's kind of slow, especially for a light, but it has an anti-air hitbox. It confirms into his super, like this, which also gives him the super armor move. But yeah, this move is really good. And then also his sweep is probably the best in the game because it's very quick, it has good range, and it doesn't have super long recovery. And it gives him the opportunity to do like dash cancel stuff and start some mix if I can do it correctly, like that. Yeah, it's just a very fast move. It can also be canceled into other stuff. So if they block the low, you can also do the high. This high, people say that you can punish him into full combo after this. However, I've never actually seen anyone do that ever. So I just don't believe you. I just don't believe that that's true. So I mean, I say just do this whenever you want. I mean, obviously try and do it when you don't think they're gonna block it, because it's very minus on block, of course, but yeah, it is his high, so he does have actually high-low mix-ups. This is his cross-up button. It's like, it's alright. I think Yuki's is like way better. If he had Yuki's JC, he would be really cooking, but he does not. He has this DP, which is, I believe, actually still error unblockable, so they can't really block this. He also has this move, which is just his super confirm. It is minus on block and probably on hit. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's just a super confirm. It has no other use really. His grab is actually really good because it puts the opponent right there below him, so it gives him more opportunities to dash cancel Oki. That is the main strength of Setsuna, I think. Is just the amount of opportunities that he can get to do dash cancel Oki is pretty much the best in the game, except for probably like Washizuka. It's between him and Washi, I think. So both of those characters benefit massively from dash cancel Oki and tech chasing, so they can be pretty scary on Oki situations. So if you like Oki characters, either Setsuna or Washi are definitely the guys for you. He also has the slow version of this move. The only real use for this is after a kick like that, then you get like a super off of it. It is a worse super confirm, I will say. It does less damage and it gives you worse Oki, and it does not give you guaranteed opportunity to get the super armor going. Well, guaranteed, quote unquote. If you're in the corner and you do the super, you're probably not going to get this in time. But in most situations, when it's against a grounded opponent, they will go into a hard knockdown, and then you can get the super armor whenever you want. After the super armor, he also gets another move, which is this. This move is fully armored throughout the entire duration of it. It is not great. Most people don't get tricked by this, so it's better to just use the super armor for the super armor proc instead of the move that it gives you. You can combo into this move, but it's difficult, and that's because the game wants to give you your DP command grab instead. So you kind of have to like hold forward for a sec in order to do it correctly, and it is not letting me do it, so oh well. That's another thing. He has this anti-air command grab. It is very good because it also puts the opponent into that same situation that they're in when you grab them normally. So you get opportunities to do like cute little mix-ups. But yeah, that is mostly it. He's a very one-dimensional character similar to Okina, but his one-dimensionalness is just stronger than the way that Okina plays, because he actually uses this game's mechanics to his benefit quite a bit. The main thing that he doesn't use very well is switch guard, which is very bad for him, but he does have special sort of like techniques, especially on like keyboard or leverless, that allow him to do perfect switch guards easier than other characters, because he only needs to be in the neutral position to confirm into what he wants to. But yeah, he is a very explosive character that is simple to play but difficult to master. Now before I move on, I just want to talk about like what makes Setsuna not a very good character is mostly just his lack of options, but his game plan can be very strong if played correctly, but he is one-dimensional, and that is really not a good thing to be in this game, so let's move on. Next is O.Kaede. The way that you pick O.Kaede is you do, over Awakened Kaede, you press C 9 times, B 1 times, C 3 times, and then when you hear him say Oshitsuke, you know you got him. O.Kaede is a very, very weird character in this game because he's held together by toothpicks and glue. So yeah, he's got a lot of weird stuff. The main gimmick of O.Kaede is the loops, which are extremely powerful. You can do like that. And yeah, what it means is that he has the longest combos in the game in power. And what that means is that he can get lots of stuns. And it's so good, in fact, that he actually has true touch of death combos at 2 loops, which is kind of the tournament standard right now. in North America. What little tournaments there are, usually they're mine. Although I have discontinued them since I started college, but they will probably be back. What's a good time? Like probably around September, I might come back to doing weeklies. But regardless, he is a character who has legal TODs, so it's pretty good. That is basically the one thing that holds this character together, and is the main reason why he's better than his counterpart. Realistically, he has a lot more weaknesses than A.Kaede does. It's just that what he does good, he does it way better. So one difference is this 5B, which is just straight up worse. His 4A is also worse. He still doesn't have any true good lows. His command grab is significantly worse. His projectile is way slower. His ZP does less damage. Everything he does less damage overall. He's just a lot weaker. He still can't do dash cancel Loki, which is really bad. And his super is worse because it's slower and it does way less damage. So overall, just everything that A.Kaede is doing, he's doing worse. But when he hits you, you are genuinely dead. Like you're just actually dead. It's insane. So yeah, that's the main thing to watch out for. Also, the A.Kaede already had really good meter gain, but this Kaede has even better meter gain. If he touches you, he's getting a full bar. It doesn't matter. He can either choose to spend it immediately on that combo to finish it off and do damage cap, or worse, or he can just decide to save it and then guard cancel, then mix you up, and then you're dead. If you play this character optimally and you never mess up his combos, you are a walking nuke. Even more so than Setsuna, and yeah, that's basically it. Like that's really all I have to say. He's just worse Kaede, but he will make you explode, like genuinely. He also still has 1 frames, and yes, they still are useful, so you still have to do those. Yeah, the main thing about O.Kaede is just short hops. If you can do short hops a lot, even though they are super finicky in this game, I will be 100% real with you. I still don't do consistent short hops, far from it. It also depends on your keyboard. My old keyboard was better at short hops for some reason. This new one is even more strict than before. You really gotta just like tap it as light as possible. But if you can do lots of short hops super easily, then this character will get a ton of mileage. If you can do short hops, and you can do the loops, and you can do those consistently, and you're also fine with 1-frame links, I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with this guy. You really can't. So, next character is Juzoh. I'm going to be honest, this is probably the furthest away from my expertise that I can possibly give you. Either that or Okina, I don't know. I don't play grapplers ever, and I never will. But, yeah, next we got Juzoh. So, Juzoh, his main strength is just being able to actually make you explode for 1 mistake. Like that. That's not even optimal, by the way. That is a little too early. He can do more damage than that, and yeah, it hurts a lot. He does like 138 or something for just that 1 command grab. So if he gets meter, say goodbye to your health bar, and that's really all he does. He just wants to grab you at all times because the rest of his tools are complete, utter garbage. The only good things that he has going for him is this jump kick is like okay. Jump heavy is good, but I think Yuki literally just does it better. And then his 2C is a surprisingly good button. That is the headbutt, which I misinputted. It's a charge move. It is completely unblockable, so it's also decent, but like it is reactable, and I think you can parry it, so it's not the best thing ever, but it is very scary. But yeah, you have this 2C that combos into itself. That is really his only real combo to speak of, besides just like this. This move is not very good, and people don't use it. It has a RNG thing the same way that Okina does, where occasionally he'll do a Happadai, where he has like a little piece of grass in his mouth. That's how you can tell, and he also says Happadai. I think all it does is just like it's a little slower but does more damage. This is just like weird anti-air. It will either ground slam, and I think you have to block that low or something. And it will also yoink people out of the air. So if I set them to jump, see that they snap into the position and then they get hit by it. It's like okay, I guess. I think this is probably a better anti-air, the anti-air grab. You can also do the normal grab into anti-air grab. The main thing about the anti-air grab is that it is actually techable. The timing on this is really strict, actually. This is why I don't play this character. But yeah, so you can do the anti-air grab. There's some follow-ups, but they can't be teched. If you don't have a follow-up, then it cannot be teched. So there is that to watch out for. And that is pretty much it. Like, he really does not have much. He has this super armor run that he can cancel into super. This is a shockingly annoying strategy to do because the super is also armored, so if they press a button, they just explode. Yeah, not very fun for the opponent, that's for sure. But yeah, this guy just shows up, hits you twice, you lose the game, and that's it. So if you like grapplers, yeah, this is the best grappler in the game, probably. I don't really count Shigen as a grappler, and you'll see why later. But yeah, if you want to play a grappler, like for real grappler, this is your guy. So now talking about his tier list placing, the reason why he's pretty low is just because a lot of his stuff, as I said, it's just useless. He's just like he has a lot of useless tools that don't really do much. But the tools that do work so well that it honestly just makes me really upset. But yeah, that's how Juzoh works. So moving on to the next character, we have Speed Koji. So Koji is pretty interesting because she has several unique tools, and they're specific to speed. Like her speed mode gains a lot more compared to like the rest of the cast. And weirdly enough, both of the Shinsengumi characters are this way, where their speed mode is significantly better than their power mode overall. So Koji is the first character that in this list that basically can do everything in the game. Like she has no real like massive weak points or completely useless moves. Mostly everything is solid here. She has one of the best, if not the best, projectile in the game that isn't Kojiroh. She has DP. This is air unblockable. The light DP is really fast, but it only has 1 frame of active frames. So yeah, you can't really rely on that one. The heavy one is a lot better for actually anti-airing. The main gimmick of Kojiroh, though, is the command run. So we have a command dash here that can be canceled into any of her specials and also supers. So you can do like this. That also works. This does lead to some broken stuff, most notably her like Fandango thing. So if you do Fandango into launcher route, then you can cancel that last hit. So if you do, that's not it. So you can cancel that into the command run, and then after the command run you can cancel that into the super. Like that. And you can cancel into it again, because you're in desperation if you want to do that, but yeah. So, yeah, it leads to some wonky stuff. The reason why that happens is because the enemy is programmed to do a little tumble into her super if she hits you while you're in the air. It's so that it always connects if it hits in the air. I wish more characters had that function, actually, like Yuki. If Yuki had that, that would be massive. But unfortunately, not everyone has that luxury, only Koji does. So, what are the main weaknesses of Koji? Well, the main weaknesses with Koji is lack of range, I would say. lack of range hurts this character really bad, because if the opponent just keeps their distance, then she can't really do like switch guard button, or like she can't really go for that many mix-ups, because like she has to be glued to the opponent to do a lot of stuff. Second is just her rigidity, I would say. So she's lacking in a lot of tools that are sort of multi-purpose, which is actually what Washi excels at. For example, her 5A is not nearly as good as Washi's. Unfortunately, Washi just completely blows this move out of the water. And unlike Washi, she can't do dash cancel Oki. So yeah, you don't have that luxury either. You're just going to have to try and play the neutral. Her Oki's not like super great. Her main way of mixing up is her command grab, which is based on the run, so you have to start running to do the command grab. It is decent, but the main issue with the command grab in this instance is hers is fairly low damage. It does not do very much, and it is stronger in power, obviously, but that is not her best mode, and for good reason. And she's another character that has like good tools that would be better if they were faster. This is a little slow for an anti-air. This is very slow for an anti-air. This is also her unique move that only she has. And then a lot of her moves are just minus. She doesn't have a ton of safe ways to end block strings, so she just kind of has to have really short block strings. And I mean, generally that's how you want to be playing the game anyways, especially in speed. But it is somewhat bad because a lot of her options in neutral are just risks. They're risky. So she ends up taking a lot more risky options than other characters can or do, especially when you compare her to like the top tiers. This move is minus. It's not minus on hit, I don't think, but it's minus on block. This move is really minus. It does give her a hard knockdown, but she can't really use the hard knockdown nearly as well as some other characters could if they had it. This move's really slow. And the command dash, if it had a longer period of time when it was for like it being cancelable, it would probably be even better. But unfortunately, the cancel window is about like halfway through the animation, maybe like 65% of the way through the animation. But there's a point where you can't really like cancel anymore, and it's not great. Unless I'm just tripping, I don't know. But yeah, when she does that slide, like that's too long. So there is recovery if you miss the cancel window when you do the command dash, and that can lead to you getting hit for just not canceling fast enough. It does kinda suck, just a little. Another thing is that her aerials are pretty lackluster, especially compared to a lot of other characters in the cast, and a lot of characters in the lower tiers under her, actually. A lot of the low tiers actually have really good jumping buttons. But she does not really have that. This is by far her best jumping button, and it's still, like, only decent. It's not fantastic. And the main thing beyond that is just her suffering from the issues with speed. So she doesn't have good meter gain, just straight up. Her meter gain is pretty bad. Her damage is generally low. She doesn't get lots of damage off of single hits, and especially single command grabs. It's really not just. She ends up having to do more for less than other characters do. But the thing is that she can do basically everything in the game that you need to be successful, and she does use the game's mechanics pretty well overall, but she's suffering from just doing everything but nothing super amazingly, and her range is pretty just bad. I mean, like, look at this. That's not great. Alright, Next we have Shigen. Shigen I have only really played against in power, but most people do agree that speed is his best mode. And that's because he has real confirms. He is not one of those grapplers that does not benefit from speed like Juzoh. He actually has quite a lot of stuff that he can only do in speed. And he can also use... Shigen can also use his jabs more to his advantage. Shigen has some of the best jabs in the game. Just straight up. I mean, these have so much active frames, it's kind of insane. And look at this reach, actually. Yeah, like, this jab is pretty nuts, I'm gonna be real. Also, Shigen has a lot of ways to get priority that other characters don't. This button has super armor on it, and it is very, very good for like anti-airing and countering people. Shigen has actual combos. It's kind of awesome. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually remember how Shigen fully works, but the main thing is that Shigen is very good at sort of just playing the wall. Instead of being like full-on grappler, the way that you might expect Shigen to play, which he does play like that in power, Shigen in speed just plays a wall character. So he can anti-air you all he wants, he can counter you, he has like an OTG grab that he's got that I'm not doing properly. What is this combo under? Oh yeah. He also gets this Rekka in speed, which ups his damage quite a bit. So he's doing a lot of damage in speed. Like that is a lot. Like 106 in speed as a basic combo, meterless, is pretty good. That is some sizable damage. For reference, Yuki's most optimal combo, which requires 3 one-frame links in speed, gives her 97, I think. So, I mean, that damage for a combo that's very easy is really, really nice. So that's the main thing about like Shigen, is that he plays a wall. He has tools to pretty much beat any neutral play. All of his hitboxes are freaking massive. I mean, just look at that. He's not even touching them. He's not even touching them, and that works. He's got lots of super armor. He's got a very long range command grab with the C version, although I think the B version, or one of the versions is like armored. This one is particularly fast. The A version is super, super fast. And yeah, he just has really good like range, really good normals, lots of super armor, command grabs, Rekka, really high damage. He has a super Rekka, which is really, really good. Just overall, a very solid character all around. Very good at defensive play in a way that's different from most other characters in the game. Because most characters in the game, the way that they want to play defense is to wait for the opponent to hit them, because switch guard is the thing. So what they want to do is they want to wait for the opponent to come to them, attack them, and then punish them for attacking them. Shigen stops you before you even get close. That's how he works. And he does thrive off that gameplay. It's just that he's a very, very underused character. There are very few Shigen players around right now. I have not seen a speed Shigen, I don't think ever, online, unfortunately. Every Shigen that I know plays power because they want that grappler gameplay. If you really want that grappler gameplay, I would recommend playing Juzoh instead. Overall, just Juzoh has more high returns off of going for grabs than Shigen does. But if you want like to play a character that's just a complete wall and basically has no true weak points other than just being big and slow and kind of combo food for some characters, then yeah, Shigen is your guy. He also, like, this is another thing to note about Shigen right before I switch out. Shigen's dash is really fast. Like, he can cover a lot of ground pretty quickly. Although it is limited, and he gets faster the longer you do it. And it is cancelable, so you can cancel that into, I believe, his command grab. And then there's also this move, which is a good combo ender. Like that. So pretty much no matter what you do, he will be able to get that OTG command grab, which is one of the best OTGs in the game. And if that doesn't even work, or if you expect the opponent to do like tech, then can he cancel this? Probably not. Yeah, he doesn't have any good lows, but he can still tech chase the opponent very easily, and he can get some high damage off of that. And I believe he might be able to do super off of this. I don't remember. Nah, I think that's like a power thing, but yeah. That's it. That's all I got for Shigen. Next is the most popular character in the game, Hibiki, who is the definitive mid-tier. And she's actually kind of similar to Shigen in quite a few different ways. Mainly in that she plays the wall. She's a very wall character, and that's because of this move right here. Super, super good. So this is a 3-frame anti-air button that is a grounded normal, so it is always unblockable. Super, super good, this move. It is actually one of the best moves in the game. So why is she only mid-tier? Well, it's mostly, I pressed the wrong button. It's mostly because of her somewhat lackluster range, her sort of one-note play style, and some of her slow normals that aren't actually very good. She's a character that does have to extend on offense to get stuff rolling. The main thing that she's going to be using to start her offense is JB, which is the blender. It is the best cross-up button in the game, just flat out. The main thing about Hibiki is that she's very, very weak to getting parried. So in order to play Hibiki effectively, you need to really get good at altering your timing. But she does have the tools to really, like, actually excel. It's just that, like, she's harder than most of your, like, higher tier characters to play at that level. She has one of the best 6Bs in the game. This move is really good, actually. Rarely are 6Bs actually, like, that notable, but hers is very, very good. I think also Setsuna's is underrated, but there's also, like, Speed Moriya. Kagami gives him actual combos, which is not supposed to happen, but there's that too. But most characters, their 6Bs, like, whatever. Hers is really good. The last and main concern with Hibiki, besides, like, her short range and like, kind of slow startup for some moves, is her super slow recovery on other moves. So 2B, super, super punishable. You're like -40 here. This move, really punishable if you whiff it. This one also. This move is punishable on hit. This move is really slow. It is variable, but it is super slow, and it is an overhead. It does lead to a crumple. You can actually use this to set up like an STM, right? Like that. But, yeah, overall, that's super slow. She actually has a sort of move that's similar to Yuki's Reflect, but it's just not as good. It doesn't reflect any projectiles. It is just a worse version of parry. Never use this. This move is slow in startup. This move is slow in startup. This move is also deceptively short range. It's not as long range as it seems. And a lot of Hibiki's cancels into her Desperation do require buffering techniques in order to do fast enough to actually confirm. Additionally, her DM as a raw move to just throw out there is not as good as some people think it is. That did go very far, but that was as far as it can reasonably go. This move does whiff a lot when people try and use it just randomly. I see that happen quite often. So don't throw that out just willy-nilly, even if you're in Desperation. It's not a very good idea. She also has the spot dodge. Her spot dodge is just not very good. Like, just straight up, not good. This is kind of dookie, it doesn't really do much. Most characters can just smack her for it. It does have a low profile hitbox, but it just doesn't work, really. It's similar to Kaede roll, where it's just not good enough to matter. But she does have cancels out of it. That gives her back jump heavy, which is one of the best tech chase tools in the game. This move is really, really good. It also lets you just run away, so you like create some distance. So yeah, that's very good. And she also has a command run, the same way that Koji does, but it's just worse in every single way. She doesn't have a command grab off of it. Its cancels are not as good. It's not as fast. It has way more startup because you have to do the spot dodge first. But you can at least do an overhead. I don't know. So she has a lot of moves that are just not like super good. And so generally she just relies entirely on her normals to get stuff done. Her normals are very good. They're very good. This is a good normal. 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 This is a decent normal. This is like okay. This is like okay. This is a super good normal. This is a good normal. This is a good normal. Like she's got insane normals. Just so good. But if you whiff this, it's really bad. If you hit this, it's not great. If you hit this, it's also not great because she doesn't get any Oki off of it. This is not great because you can't actually combo off of it unless you have meter, because you can do like the this into DM, which is really tight, but yeah, you can do that. She also has DPB, which only crosses up and is cancelable at close range, which means that you sometimes have to hold it to get it to work, and that's just not really that good. This move is terrible no matter what. It is always trash, except for in speed, where it's her main cancel. So she's just got a lot of moves that are really bad, but a lot of moves that are really good. So she's kind of like half and half. Yeah, in a way that most characters aren't in this game, where it's just like half of her kit is really good and then the other half is just not. So as long as you avoid the moves that are bad as much as possible and utilize what she does best, she can be very, very good. I could see argument that she's in like the A tier. I could see it, but like I wouldn't say that's true. But she's very much on the cusp of being like A tier good. Alright. Next up is Kagami. Now, Kagami used to be considered the 6th best character in the game, which he is now no longer really thought to be that good, and I would agree with that sentiment. So, what makes him the first high tier on the list? Well, it's because now we're really playing Last Blade. And the reason why I say that is because of this funny little move right here. Oh yeah. These like low kicks or super fast jabs that have amazing frame data, this is what Last Blade's about right here. That's what it is. That move is super good. Lee has a similar move. Amano has a similar move. Zantetsu has a similar move. Moriya actually doesn't, but Moriya has other moves to make up for it. Yeah, these short little kicks that are super good at just doing anything on pressure is always super good. And he also has a projectile. It is not a super good projectile, as they are never very good, but I mean, it's there, you can use it. He has a DP. This is one of the best DPs in the game, just straight up. He does leave the ground, but he has 1 frame of invulnerability towards air block, so he can get through air block with this, even though he jumps into the air, and it is super cancelable because all his supers are in the air. So he can get some insane damage for anti-airing you. So you really gotta watch out for that. And then his main gimmick is the dive kick. So if you like Doom, if you like Dr. Doom, this is your guy right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So basically what this all boils down to is that Kagami is the mix character. He mixes the most out of any character in the game. He has the strongest mix tools that actually like use this game's mechanics super well. Besides, I guess, like dash cancel, but he doesn't need it. He can do high-low, because he has the high, he has the low. He also has a command grab. If the opponent blocks his 2C, he can just go into the command grab and it's true. You can also do like, you can also, so the light version is a hit grab, so you can combo into that one, which is always cool. That's a really cool way to end the round. But he can actually do, on block, the dive kick into a command grab, and that is just true. It's just like, boom, you got hit, lol. So he has command grabs, he has highs, he's got lows, he's got cross-ups, he's got everything, alright? And then if you try to play neutral against him, he's just going to DP you and then blow you up. So this guy with meter, super scary, super scary. You do not want him to have meter. And then on top of that, he also has some of the best guard cancels in the game, because he can just, like, if you're playing like power, he's going to guard cancel you while you're in the air, and then he's going to dive kick you into a true confirm into like whatever he wants, right? On top of that, he also has this move, which is his best grounded ender. It can also combo into the DP with a certain juggle height. I don't remember how to do that, but I know you can. So I do have a Kagami combo video that I believe I did that in. So that is there if you want to see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, basically, Kagami is one of the strongest characters on offense when it comes to just bulldozing you and then mixing you up over and over and over. But he does have a couple glaring weaknesses. So the first glaring weakness that he has is just his normals are not great. Like, his normals, he's got like the one really good normal, and then the rest are like whatever, pretty much. I mean, he's got his 6B, which allows him to do a 1-frame link into 2C, which is really weird. The timing is super wonk, but I want to see if I can get at least one. Yeah, like that. That does actually lead into infinites in speed and EX, but the thing about speed is that speed has no way to confirm into supers. Zero. None. Zilch. And that's because his super is designed to be cancelled in the air, and that requires you to do a special. So you have to do a special to cancel into a super, and if you don't have one, you're just shit out of luck. So so his normals aren't very good. His frame data is like okay. This move just covers up a lot of his weaknesses, but he still does have them. And the other weakness that he has is that his B&B is just hard. He just has difficult B&B. So the reason why it's hard is because you're canceling a light into a DP, which is, you know, not that bad, especially if you play characters like Setsuna who also have to do that. But the main thing is that low kick into the punch is a 1-frame link. So he has a 1-frame link into an immediate light cancel into DP, and then he has to cancel that into super, which also has a specific timing. So his basic combo that he always relies on, because he really only has the one combo, I'm going to be real, his combo game is super, super lackluster, but it is a good combo. It's a very good combo, and he cares more about his mix than he cares about his combos. But it is difficult to do, especially in the middle of a match where you're like scrambling and you're trying to mix them up and all that stuff. So he's a difficult character to play, and he has a lot of weaknesses that the other top tiers just don't have. Particularly in just like a lot of bad moves that don't have good frame data and don't have like amazing reach, and being very limited in options is another thing. He has a DP, he has the fireball, he has the ender, command grab, dive kick. That's it. That's all he's got. And while those things are very good, well, at least some of those things are very good. It's particularly the command grab and the dive kick. Those ones are really, really good. The rest of his options are like whatever. The DP is also good, but his DP is slow. That's probably the biggest weakness with this DP, is it's not fast, but it is unblockable, and he also gets in like a ton of damage off of it. So it's still good, just not as good as it could be. I also don't think he can do, yeah, he can't do dash cancel Loki either, so he's missing out on that. Another thing is that he doesn't have a particularly good mid switch guard option, so it's like, whatever. The main thing is just that he lacks options to beat opponents in a lot of different neutral situations. Mostly he just wants the opponent to come to them, or to come to him, and then just like smack them out of the air or whatever. And if he doesn't want to do that, if he wants to like be aggressive, then he just goes in and 2Cs and gets shit done, you know? But yeah, mostly just like lack of lots of defensive options that are really good when he doesn't have any meter, and his lackluster normals. Otherwise, though, he is very good, and he is one of the best aggressive characters in the game. At least I think so. He's one of the best in terms of just playing the aggressive game, which is rare in this game because like a lot of the defensive mechanics are super good in this game. Generally, defense leads to good offense, but Kagami kind of breaks that rule. Mainly, he doesn't want to play the defensive game very much, so he just wants to get in and schmix your shit. So that's how he plays the game. Next, we're on to the one character that I would probably dispute his placement, and only by a little bit. And that is Speedwashi. So, Speedwashi is way better than P-Washi, unless your name is Mifune, who thinks that like P-Washi might be better, but I very much disagree. Unless I'm just getting it wrong. He'll probably correct me later, but... Yeah, so Speedwashi, I think that Speedwashi is better than Akari. That's the only difference I would make about this whole tier list, is that I think Washi is a little better than Akari is, but... I mean, it's not that big a deal, really. He's still in like the high tier, the A tier, so he's very good. What makes Washi so good? So, first we have the projectile, which is actually quite good for this game. This one also beats other projectiles even better than a lot of other ones do, because it's like the 1-2 type of thing, instead of like being delayed, but it also has 2 hits, but like they're not sectioned off or anything like that. I don't know. He has the Koji DP, but it's a charge input, which is probably better, honestly, in my opinion. And then next he has the charge. So the charge is super good because this is like his main combo ender. It's also a high-low. And then he gets so much time. He gets so much time to do some Oki that it's actually kind of insane. Now, something I didn't mention before, but Kagami and Washizuka both have like insanely fast run speeds, even for this game. So he can close the gap super fast and just slam you. This is a very often used tactic where you just run in and grab with Washi, because he's just so fast. Next are his normals, which are actually really, really good. Just straight up super good. This is probably the best jab in the game. I might have said that before about something else, but this is the best jab in the game. If I said it before, I was wrong. I lied. This is the best jab in the game. It is super, super good. It cancels into full combos, right? Then he gets Oki off of it, and it's just, oh my god, dude, it's so strong. It anti-airs for you and everything. It's so good. Other good normals that he has is his 4A is really good. It goes really far for a 4A. And of course he gets full combos off of it. His 2C is one of the best in the game, I think, or not one of the best in the game. His 2C is one of the best of this type of 2C, where it's not like the super mega fast ones that cancel into each other, like it cancel into itself super fast, the way that like Lee's does or Kagami's does. This one's just the one where like it's one of those where you just throw it out, and then you cancel into like a different jab, so like that. So as one of those types of 2Cs, it is probably the best of them all, because it is very fast, it still has good range. Not as good range as like Yuki, mind you, but still very, very good. And it is a very good normal. It serves his purpose very, very well. His sweep is actually pretty solid. It's not bad. It's not as good as like Setsuna's, but it is pretty close to as good. This is a good button also. Again, like I think Yuki does this better, and also who else am I thinking of? Like Amano. Amano does this better. but it is still just solid, very good. This is like, I think of it like Hibiki's JA, but better. Very, very good JA. This, I think, is a better JB than Koji's is, because it's actually a little delayed. It varies Washi's timing kind of automatically, in a way, and so that makes it a little bit more useful. And this is a very, very good cross-up button, the JC, because it actually does cross-up, and, hold on. Like, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, his 3B is super, super fast, which is not very common with this game, unfortunately. And yeah, his mix-ups is super good. So basically, Washi just plays... He plays Last Blade. Like, that's one of the main things about Washi that's just, like, really, really good about him, is that he just plays this game really well. What this game wants you to do, he excels at. As far as I know, I've heard from quite a few, like, high-level players that in terms of characters that have like good matchups against the top tiers, Washi is pretty damn up there when it comes to just like beating a lot of those top tiers, and especially I think Zantetsu was the main one that people think about when they think about Washi. Like Washi's really good at like stopping Zantetsu's gameplay, and that's mostly just because of like stuff like this, this move. And then, of course, he's also got the poke, which is like whatever. It's not super amazing, but it does lead to some shenanigans. For example, he can do it off of his super, like, boink, or let me try and get it. Boink, like that. That can set up some goofy stuff. He also has guaranteed ways to beat techs on his super in the corner, and that's because his super always brings you to the corner. Another really, really, really good thing about him. Like, this, I don't think people talk about enough. The fact that you can do that. Because most characters who have cinematic supers, what they'll do is they'll actually bring you to the center of the screen. And that is significantly worse than bringing you to the corner. Because obviously when you're in the corner, there is... he also makes amazing use of dash cancels, he makes amazing use of switch guard, he makes amazing use of guard cancel. He just does everything that is good in this game really well. That's mostly like what his deal is. So yeah, he's a good counter pick for a lot of the like top tier characters in the game, and he plays this game just really well. Super, super solid. So next we have the last of the high tiers, which is Akari. I do think that this is maybe the cause of a little bit of bias, mostly because I know that Hambaaga like hard mains Akari, but that is not to say that I don't think that Akari is in the high tier, because she definitely is, for sure. Like, no question about it. So, what makes Akari so good? Well, the first thing is that she has a charge motion DP, but you don't need to charge it. This is also one of the only DPs in the game that has an actual defensive property that makes it better. So what it does is it gives her upper body invul. So she gets upper body invul for this DP, and then after that, she can actually cancel into super. There we go. But yeah, so she can cancel her DP into super, which obviously does a shit ton of damage. Like, just look at that, that's kind of crazy. So this DP is probably the best anti-air in the game, and then also to cover people who are trying to chicken block it, she can do this, which is a very good anti-air button. What else does she have? Well, she also has some of the best pokes in the game. This is super good, and this is super good, and this is also super good. So this move is like a 4-frame heavy that can be cancelled into, well, it can be linked into like 6C, if I can do it correctly, because I have not played Akari in a long time. Like that. She can combo into super, although I messed it up. And that is mainly how her routes work, is like getting the juggle off of the 6C, and then doing stuff off of that. So her damage is very good. She's got a lot of tools. Not all of them are useful, especially these. These are not very good. This is the various like effect talismans that are also not very good because they cost meter, and you should be spending more of your meter on guard cancels and other stuff. She has a command grab, but it's not amazing. I mean, it's alright, I guess. She can do dash cancel Loki, and she does have this button, which is very, very good. It is a very good cross-up button, and is also just a I think it's tied for one of the fastest jumping buttons in the game, which is like 2 frames. So this starts up in 2 frames, gives you instant overheads, gives you cross-ups, gives you air-to-airs. Very, very good. This one's also pretty good. It just covers a nice angle. This one's slow, but it does a lot of damage. Her 5B is also pretty good. It's better in speed, where it can give her like super confirms and stuff. But she also has this, which is one of the better projectiles in the game, I think. So like the best projectiles in the game are probably like Washi, Koji, and then maybe Yuki, and then after that is like Akari and Kagami, I think, something like that, and then Kaede and O.Kaede. But yeah, it's like decent, I guess. It's all right. I think the heavy one's faster, but it goes away super fast. What else does she have? She has a little boot kick. It's not good, really. But I mean, she can use it to like end her this move. Although I don't remember how it works. Yeah, that's right. So like you can cancel the DP early by pressing up parry and then coming with the down kick, but it's not the best option to do. I think it does give you a hard knockdown, but there's too much recovery on it for it to be useful. And that is the weird thing about Akari, is that a lot of her moves are just like not very good, but the ones that are good are really, really good. So I think that Washi is overall just better than Akari is, but Akari does have some amazing tools. This is super fast, leads to full combos. These are super long. This is like okay, I guess. She doesn't have any, like, this is her best low. I don't think it leads into full combos, except, no, it does, because you can do this, like that. So she does have full combos off of lows. She has a really good cross up. Her main benefit, or like the best thing about her, is just how well she plays defense, especially with that anti-air. That anti-air does so much, it's insane. And she can also combo into it off of 6C, which is really tight, and I can't do it, but I know you can, and it is very, very high damage. She does a lot of damage, she plays very good defensive game, and then when you play her on speed, she actually plays a very good offensive game, so she can play either way with the same tools. Which makes her a very versatile character, and there's just like 2 very different versions of her, despite them having the same tools. Just the way that they use them is different. So yeah, very flexible character. One of the coolest character designs in the game, yeah, she's just really, really good, really solid, high tier. All of her defensive mechanics are super good, and yeah, that's it. All right, we're finally on the top tiers, an hour and a half into this recording. The first one we have is Amano, who is best in power for a very obvious reason. Amano is mostly top tier because he does so much damage, it's ridiculous, and he has a lot of tools the way that like Akari has a lot of tools, but more of them are useful. So this gives you a little stun that I think they can mash out of. This is a reflector like Yuki, but also is a DP. He has one of the worst heavies in the game, but it turns into one of the best heavies in the game if you press B, C, and D, because there's like no recovery on this. Yeah. And it is cancelable. Oh my god, my keyboard is losing it. But yeah, so that's a lot of damage, huh? Ain't it? Yeah. And then next is Touhou. Touhou is super good, but the timing for canceling it is super weird, and I hate this normal. This is my most hated normal in the game because I can't use it. Like, I'm having trouble canceling it right now. The timing is so weirdly strict. Like, I can't really do it, but yeah. So, mainly, Amano is probably the best character in the game at playing that sort of wall gameplay style, where he just wants you to like play neutral and then just beats you in neutral all the time. And another big reason for that is this, which is the most disjointed normal in the game. It is a 100% disjoint, and it's really fast, it does cross-ups, it's like the do-it-all button, and then this is the do-it-all button grounded version. On top of that, he actually has one of the best BCs in the game in power, which is it's not a usual thing to care about, but it's mostly just because of how friggin' huge it is. So, I mean, if you like BC, and if you like getting parried, then there you go. there's one of the best ones in the game, but... He also has this move, which is surprisingly decent. I'm not really sure why. But he does also have the lariat. So if you like lariats, yeah, you got the lariat. This thing is super cancelable, if I can remember how to do it. Hold on. There we go. And obviously, you can tell that he does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage. Boom. Oink. Yeah, that's almost damage cap right there. Easy peasy. And that is a very realistic combo to hit. And he can also do heavy lariat after after a low, although I can't do it. Like, I genuinely cannot play this character. But yeah. He also has some of the highest damage off of his normal grab. Although I also can't do this either. I am really bad at Amano. But yeah, he can do that. That does connect if you're good. And he does so much damage. It's insane. And then he has these neutral tools that just shut everyone down. It's insane. His main weakness is that he has a lot of moves that are kind of useless though. Like this move is useless outside of just gaining meter after a knockdown because you can cancel it. It's supposed to be like this overhead, but it doesn't do anything. It's not good. To get the full charge, you have to charge it up for this long, which is just not reasonable. That's never happening. This move is really, really bad. This move is good though. Like this is a really good move. It's 2 hits. It gives you a lot of time to cancel. It's pretty good. This normal light has so much recovery on it that's like really just not good at all. The mash version of it is not good. His 2C is not good. His 4A is like whatever. Like it's okay, I guess. It's just that it's completely outclassed by the low. His jump B is really it's really bad. His jump A is alright though. Generally it's just like he has half of his normals are just not very good, like at all. But then the other half are super, super good, and then his half of his basically just half of his kit is not good. But the other half of his kit is insanely oppressive. So he's missing out on some stuff, but generally he's going to be very strong, especially if you can play him. That is the other complaint that I have with Amano, is just that he's hard to play. He's hard to play, but like in terms of his game plan, it's very simple. It's just press normals and don't let your opponent play the game, and then just do a ton of damage. Like that's all he does. Very simple character in terms of like his goals, but man, playing him is tough. Next we have P. Lee. Yes, sir. This might be one of the most hated characters in the game. If it's not Okina, it's Lee. Let's be real here. And the reason why is because of one move. One move that Lee has that just is obnoxious. It's just so obnoxious. And it's this. So, unlike Hibiki's spot dodge, this makes him fully invincible. Because why not, alright? So not only is this fully invincible, but he has 4 follow-ups instead of Hibiki's, which is not that good. And 2 of these follow-ups are super, super good. Like, way too good. So on the startup, he's invincible. And then after that, that's an overhead. And that's a low. So he has invincibility frames into high-low mix-up. what the hell? And then on top of that, he also has some of the best B normals in the game. He has some of the best heavies in the game. This is as fast as a light. This is 5 frames. So you can just do 2. If I could do the cancel correctly, like that. And then it's not only that, he also has some really good specials too. He has a charge DP. He has a lariat that is super cancelable, like that. And then he also has a dive kick that he can actually combo into his charge up if you space it correctly. I'm not doing it correctly, but yeah, you can do that. He also has 2C, which is one of the best normals in the game, just straight up. It's like Kagami's, but slightly worse, but it does lead into better, easier combos. He also has the flame kicks, which gives a hard knockdown, I believe. If I remember correctly, I don't know for sure, but I think that is a hard knockdown. And then you get dash cancel Loki off of that. He also is one of the buggiest characters in the game. He's very buggy. He also has, I think he only has air chains, yeah, but he can do air chains in speed mode, which gives him infinites in speed, and also EX. He gets a lot out of speed mode, actually. I think that, his damage is still pretty bad in speed mode, surprisingly. Like, he does pretty low damage, but, he gets a lot of extra tools from speed that are very good. This super, the fan that goes up, actually has a hitbox, and I believe that it is air unblockable, so have fun with that. And yeah, he also has this move, which is one of the best air-to-airs in the game, and he also has some of the highest damage air-to-air confirms in the game, similar to Kagami in that way. And he also has one of the types of OTGs that lets him do it from basically anywhere. I'll try and get it. There we go. So yeah, he has a tracking OTG that can basically hit anywhere. I think Juzoh also has one. And Mukuro also has one. But yeah, overall, he's just... The thing that makes Lee super, super good is that he's one of the easiest characters in the game to play. He has a lot of tools that are pretty much all really good. He also has the follow-up to the lariat, like that. His supers are really good. He also has this SDM, which is super friggin' fast. And he also has one of the most toxic moves in the game. Yeah, you can actually, so you can do like dash cancel, do it again, like that. Like, it's so gross. He has some of the best normals in the game, just straight up. He's super fast, his frame data is super, super good, like insane, ultra good frame data. Some of the best frame data in the game, just bar none. Probably the single best frame data in the game. Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, if you want like a character that's both easy and is just good at everything and also has like free mix-ups as long as you just press the funny spot dodge button, like this character is insane. It's his main weaknesses is mostly just range. He has a lot of range issues, and that's because he just is kind of a stubby boy. He does not have much in the way of reach, but he doesn't need it because he can just be in your face and invincibility frames and all that stuff, and he has some good defensive tools too, and he has the lariat and everything. So I mean, yeah. He also has this this funny knowledge check mix-up in the corner, if I can hit it. That hit backwards, by the way. So yeah, you had to actually block that into the corner and not away from it. So yeah, that is a funny little 50-50 he's got. If he just delays it slightly, then he can get same side and everything. And one of my favorites, actually, if I can make them, yeah, block. So at point blank, he can cross up with his SDM and then mix you up for it. So yeah, he's a very weird, janky, glitchy character with some of the best tools in the game. He's super consistent, and yeah, no, he's very, very good, super easy. And yeah. Next is Mukuro. So Mukuro is kind of similar to Lee in a couple ways, but also not really. Mukuro is probably he's either the first or second most aggressive character in the game. I don't know whether it's him or Kagami, but it's one of them. And the reason why is because of this move. So this move doesn't have full invincibility the way that Lee's spot dodge does, because that would be super dumb. But this does have an actual low profile like hurtbox that means something. So he can actually dodge most things in the game, and then he also has this. I said that Washizuka 5A was the best jab in the game. But what I mean to say is that Washizuka 5A is the best neutral jab in the game. Because this one, Mukuro 4A, is actually the best jab in the game. This move, the only way that you can punish this move, actually, I'm pretty sure, is by doing switch guard parry. I think it needs to be parry because parry starts in frame 1. Any other, like, jab is too slow by like a frame or two. This jab is so broken. This jab was what made people discover that jab infinites were in the game, and they are, but his is the only practical one. You can actually probably do it as a human, but the others not really. So yeah, he's got that going for him. Also, he can cancel this into a command grab, because why not? He also has this move, which is actually kind of doo-doo. I'm gonna be real, it's not a good move. Don't use it. But his normals are very good. This is insane. This is really good. This is really good. It's like Lee fast, although it has more recovery than Lee's, but it is pretty much Lee fast. He has this super, which is one of the most damaging supers in the game, and does an insane amount of chip. I mean, just like he does so much chip anyways. Like it's actually nuts. But yeah, there you go. 25 damage of chip right there. Very nice. He also has an anti-air version of this, which is really good. This can also go long range if you mash it. His 6B goes really far. And I believe you can cancel that into his, BC, which also goes really far. That is an especially nasty little trick with Mukuro and Amano. They both have really good BC cancels if you can catch the opponent off guard. Although it is hard, I'll admit. People can still parry this on reaction, but they do got to be watching out. And then also, his damage output is kind of nuts. Let's do this. No, I fucked it up. Hold on. Oh my god, he's so rigid. Okay, this is the one problem I have with Mukuro, is that he's super rigid. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, 152 off that. All right, so we're dealing like Amano damage right now. And he also has an SDM, which I think, as far as I know, is probably the most damaging SDM in the game. Let me just remember what the input is. I think it's, oh yeah. So yeah, that did 166. Raw, this super does 157, because it's weirdly unscaled. They forgot to scale it properly, so that's unscaled. And that is actually something that I forgot to mention about Shigen, actually. Quick side note. Shigen has a completely unscaled counter super, and that counter super does damage cap guaranteed, so you can just yoink rounds by doing the counter super when you're in desperation and just spamming it. So yeah, remember that. What else do we have to talk about with Mukuro? I don't know. He's kind of like simple. he's a shockingly simple character, but he also has this hit grab, which is his main combo ender. So usually he does like that. Yeah, so the main strengths of Mukuro is just that he can play his aggressive game really well because of Crawl. Because Crawl will make most moves miss, so he can get in for free. And then he has his insane jab that leads into full combos, gives him tons of damage, gives him Oki. He's got command grabs. He's got everything. All right. He is one scary character, and he also has a dive kick for good measure that can cancel into supers because he needed it. And yeah. He also has loops, and he has one-frame links, so he can actually confirm 4A into 5B. This is one of the harder one-frames in the game, I think. God, this is hard. But yeah, he does have 4A, 5B one-frame links, so you can do that if you want. He also has true loops, which I can actually showcase in speed mode instead of power, because it's way easier. Because in power mode, you're going to have to do that one-frame link every loop, but in speed mode, you don't have to do that. But yeah, so you can cancel 5B. Yeah, you can cancel 5B into Crawl, and then that will let you confirm into another 4A. So in power mode, you'll do 4A, 4A, 5B, and then Crawl, and then repeat that. But in speed mode, you can just do the speed chain, and then into Crawl, and then do it again. And that will give you pretty easy loops. I think these loops are easier than even O.Kaede's, so if you like loops, you can do this in speed mode, and it is tournament legal, at least in my tournaments. So, have at her. Yeah. But yeah, super aggressive character, super strong character. He has a couple moves that are really not good, but most moves in his toolkit are very, very good. Yeah, so that is Mukuro. Now we have the second last character in the game to talk about finally. And that is Speed Moriya. Alright, so this is Virgil. Speed Moriya. If you ever wanted to play Virgil in a 2D game, this is it. Because you have... yeah, so... So this move is why this character's top tier. Let's just let's not pull any punches. This is why he's top tier. Because yeah, this is instantaneous. He is invulnerable while he is disappeared. When he reappears, he can instantly block. He can instantly attack. He can instantly DP. He can instantly whatever he wants. And it can also extend combos for him and give him loops as well. Now, if I am not like that, it is finicky. But... yeah, you can just do that as long as you want. I am far from like an expert on Moriya, but yeah. So he can also do some extra cancels. He's got high damage for a speed character, especially. He's got this DP, which is air unblockable. It's one of the best DPs in the game. He has this move. This is his core circle back, I believe. But yeah, this is super fast. It is a very good anti-air. It is just as good as this. He also has this sort of lariat style move. You can also cancel, I think, the third hit, right? That gives you links. Yeah, also to super. I think he can do like what? Yeah, his super is very good. Does a lot of chip, deals a lot of damage. It does not really give you much Oki, but he doesn't need it. The teleport gives him free grabs, it gives him free pressure, he can come in and out as much as he wants, he can dodge projectiles, He can dodge you and then anti-air you. He can dodge in and anti-air you. He can teleport behind you, and that is also cancelable if you press a button. So if you whiff a button, and then he teleports to the other side and then holds back, he will block and cancel his animation. So he gets backwards animation cancels on that teleport. Very cool. He also has a low with this, which is just awesome. Like, yeah, he needed it. His normals are very good. This is a good normal. This is a good normal. This is decent. This is a good normal. This is a good normal. This is a good normal. Like, all his jumping normals are good. Yeah, so basically what makes this character so good is he doesn't really have any weaknesses. Like, if I'm being real, he just doesn't have them. Power definitely has some weaknesses, but speed, the only weaknesses he has in speed is the weaknesses of speed in general. But the strengths he gains from it is just, it far outweighs any negatives that he would normally have. So yeah, insanely good character. If you like movement tools and like really overpowered movement tools, and if you want to play like essentially just 2D Virgil, then yeah, there he is. And now, finally, my voice is dying, we have Power Zantetsu is the best character in the game, and that is not ever going to be a discussion, I don't think. I think everyone unanimously agrees that this is the best character in the game. Now, why is he the best character in the game? Alright. So first of all, he's got one of those 2 Cs, alright? He's got one of the good ones. The ones that combos into itself and just plays the game for you. Yeah, he's got one of those. He has a command grab. He has dash slash. He has command dash. He has command dash overhead, because of course he does. He has OTGs from anywhere that also built him half a bar of meter and do a ton of damage. He has a super that's an overhead and also a projectile, because of course it is. Yep. He has a 2-frame air button that also has this funny little glitch that is very banned. Don't do that. He has air cancels in speed, or in power, which is not intended. That's not supposed to happen. That's actually why, like the air cancels is why O.Kaede is better than Awakened Kaede. But yeah, he also has these. I don't know if these are legal in power, but I think they are in speed. He has a launcher, which very few characters have, actually. And then he can like do dive kicks. He has the dive kick. What else does he have? What else does he have? He has this move, which is like whatever, but I mean it exists. I've seen it end rounds. It's decent at ending rounds. Yeah, basically, the main thing that makes Zantetsu so good is that he doesn't have anything that's bad. I don't think there's a single thing about Zantetsu that I would call bad. There's just not. He builds meter so fast. He deals a ton of damage. He has probably the best mix in the game with this funny little move right here. He has the he has the disappear thing, which is, I mean, it's whatever, honestly. He has a command grab SDM, which I forget how to input, actually. And I don't think I will remember how to do it right now, but yeah, he basically has no bad anything. Like, nothing he does is really bad, I would say. He has the best mix in the game. He has some of the best normals in the game. He has some of the best frame data in the game. He has the best OTG in the game. He has a good super, not like the best super, but it's good. In in speed mode, you can also do super into Fandango, and that's a true confirm because it crumples. And Hibiki actually does a similar thing in speed, but yeah. So crumple gives him Fandango confirms. He just doesn't do anything bad, and everything like that he has that's unique to him is just so broken. Like, this is so broken. That is broken. Like, that's broken. That's just broken. And there's a certain zone on the screen where basically whether or not he's going to cross you up with dash slash is ambiguous. It's also an anti-air button. It also has some of the highest stun in the game. It's also air unblockable. Like, there's just nothing that Zantetsu doesn't do. The only thing that I would say is bad about Zantetsu is that he's difficult to play. And that's something that I also forgot to mention about Moriya. Moriya is not easy to play, but I wouldn't call him like super, super hard to play. He's just complex. With Zantetsu, like, some of the motions that you have to be doing to do his stuff correctly just is... ugh, it's not good. Like, I don't know how good Zantetsu is for your fingers, but, I mean, he is definitely the best character in the game, and yeah, it's mostly just because he doesn't do anything bad. There's just not one thing about this character that is bad. And on top of that, he plays with this game's strength so well. He also has this DP, I think. How does it go? It's this, yeah. So, I mean, the guy is just insane. He's just insane. He also has dash cancel out, because of course he does. So if I do, like, this... See? I just dash cancel right there. And then he gets high-lows. He has some insane combos in speed. I think he's way more fun in speed than he is in power, but power is the better mode, because power is just better. Yeah, so, I think that's everything. So yeah, that's the entire tier list explained. I can go over it again quickly, just as like a little overview. So Yuki is bad because she doesn't have any tools that actually like play to this game's strengths at all, and generally she's like a character that kind of wants to play Street Fighter 2 in a game that is probably like one of the furthest games you can get from Street Fighter 2 that's still like a grounded 2D game. Okina is mostly just a knowledge check machine, and outside of that he has very few real strengths. A.Kaede is very inconsistent, and he has a lot of poor frame data that really does hurt him a lot, and his special tools are, again, like very Shoto-esque, and Shotos just are not very strong in this game. Setsuna is lacking a lot of options, but the things that he does have are like decent. He's fairly strong, and he does a lot of damage, but he's very one-note, and he relies a lot on dash cancel Oki, which is not technically the best way to do mix-ups in this game. O.Kaede is better than A.Kaede because O.Kaede has loops. It's just that everything that O.Kaede does outside of loops is just honestly just not good. It's just not good. But if he hits you with the loops and you are playing optimally, you do just die. You're just dead. Like the game is over. Juzoh is the main grappler, and he is the king of stealing rounds. He just wants to take rounds, and it's just over, but he lacks anything outside of just grappling. Like, that's all he does, literally. Kojiroh does basically everything in the game, but just not very well. She doesn't really particularly excel at anything, but she has pretty much every different type of tool in the game. And so she's still pretty good, and also one of her bigger weaknesses is just a poor range. Shigen is a wall character who's very good at playing defensively in a way that's more unusual compared to the rest of the characters in the game because of the way that the game works. He has a lot of very strong frame data in terms of like active frames and hitboxes, but he is quite slow. Hibiki is similar to Shigen in that she plays more like a wall. Her main thing is that most of her normals are really good, but most of her specials are fairly mediocre, and she suffers from having extremely slow recovery on a ton of moves. Kagami is somewhat one-note, but he also has the best aggressive mix-ups in the game. He just wants to play his game, and he's not very interested in playing Last Blade in the way that Last Blade is generally played by the rest of the cast. He has a higher barrier for execution than your average character because he relies on one-frame links immediately into DP confirms off of like a jab or something. So he requires very quick fingers, quick execution, and consistent timing. Washizuka plays Last Blade probably the best out of any character. He loves using this game's like universal mechanics to their utmost benefit. He also has some of the best normals in the game, especially his 5A, which is insanely good. And he is generally used as a counter pick for a lot of the top tier characters and is extremely solid. Akari is one of the best defensive characters in the game because her defensive options are extremely good. She has some insanely good pokes. Pokes lead into full combos. She has 4B, which is a 4-frame startup heavy, and she has the best DP in the game, just straight up. Like it is just the best. It leads into supers. It has overhead invul, and she also has a different normal to cover her bases if she notices that the opponent is trying to chicken block her on it. Amano has some of the best normals in the game by far, and also deals probably the most consistently high damage in the game. However, he does end up being somewhat one-note and is not a particularly aggressive character in the same way that like Kagami is. He benefits mostly from playing the neutral, playing a little bit more the spacing game, and then picking you apart with his insanely good frame data. Lee is the easiest top tier in the game. He has an invincible spot dodge into high-low mix-ups, which is insanely strong, like way too broken. And then he also has some of the best frame data in the game, super fast on startup, super fast on recovery, and none of his moves are particularly that bad. So yeah, he's a very strong character. Although the one thing about him is that he's probably the least high damaging top tier in the game, but that is A-okay because he has mix-ups for days. Then we have Mukuro, who is rivaling Amano for damage, except Mukuro has one of the best movement options in the game in Crawl, which actually low profiles, unlike a bunch of other moves in the game. And then he has a super high damaging command grab, some of the highest damage supers, some of the best buttons in the game, probably the single best jab in the game with 4A. He has loops, infinites, all the good stuff. Moriya is a like super fast-paced, movement-based character because he has the teleport cancels. Teleport cancels let him do basically whatever he wants. He gets full combos, loops, infinites, all that stuff. He can anti-air from anywhere on the screen. He has consistently high damage, all that good stuff. There's not much that he does poorly, and yeah, he's super good. And then Zantetsu, who is just the best. He has every single good thing that could possibly be in a character in this game. He uses the game's mechanics super well. He has a lot of different moves to choose from, lots of different ways to mix up, some of the best neutral in the game, easy access to stuns, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that is everything. Now, again, like I said, the only real change that I would bother making for this tier list, because I agree with most of it, is just this. So if you ask me, this would be probably what I would come up with. Although, as I was going over Yuki today, I realized that she does as much damage on meterless command grabs as Juzoh does. So, I mean, if you play P Yuki like a mix-up grappler, she might actually be pretty solid. Like genuinely, she might be pretty good. I don't know for certain. I really don't know. I would need someone who is good at the game to test that. I would need Mifune to play P Yuki and then try and play P Yuki like Juzoh. And I would need to see what he thinks of that. But yeah. So maybe I might do this, but it depends. It would have to be P and then get rid of this. But who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know for certain what to do with Yuki, but yeah, that is going to be everything. I need a drink of water desperately. But yeah, so that is all I have to say. That is the tier list currently by Hambaaga. Mine is just, I think Washi's better. And yeah, that is my breakdown of every character. I hope this was helpful in either picking your main or just finding out why each character is where they are, or what they're good at, and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you next time.